I hope that you have joined our group on Mols. Sudah ya? Sudah kalian tambahkan di grup Mols? Yeah, because I need Mols to what is it? To collect all of your attendance list. Jadi kalau Mols itu nantinya saya gunakan untuk ngumpulin tugas-tugas kalian sama attendance listnya. So because in the first meeting, I thought that this class would be joined with the other class. That is why I got miscommunication ya. Jadi saya tidak memberikan pemaparan like introduction at the first. But saya sudah membagikan course outline-nya. Kalian bisa lihat buku apa yang that we are going to use for this lesson, and then what is our goal for this course. Jadi apa pencapaian yang nantinya akan kalian dapatkan after this course setelah melewati 16 meeting ini ya. Well, today we are going to talk about English present and future ya. Jadi bahasa Inggris sejarahnya itu seperti apa? Okay, and how come English could become a global language? But first, I'd like to check, is Mercy here with us? Mercy, are you here with us? Nah, kenapa saya terkadang ngecek atau mengajukan terkadang mengajukan pertanyaan in the middle of my explanation? It is because I just wanted to check whether you are here or not. Ya, jadi karena kan ini online class, I could not see you. Ya, saya tidak bisa melihat kalian. So, ya. Apalagi kan kalau ini kameranya, sometimes you need to turn off your camera, so I don't know whether you are listening or not, but yeah, I hope that you are listening ya. Well, mungkin saya langsung share screen saja my PowerPoint. Please let me know my voice or you could not see my PowerPoint on the screen. But how about right now? Am I audible?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah. Okay. So you also can see my PowerPoint. Yeah, Fajar. Yeah.
Yes, Miss. It's clear.
Yes. Okay. So we begin with English present and future. So as you know that thousands and 500 years ago, it is the history of English began. Ya. Jadi awal mulanya itu mulai dari 1500 tahun yang lalu, and then we need a languages to what is it, to bring the information. I mean, it is a vehicles ya. Jadi dia itu semacam alat untuk menyampaikan messages, untuk menyampaikan pesan, to communicate ya. So the history of English as a cultural subject, yeah, it plays a vital role in human civilization. Jadi perannya sangat penting dalam peradaban. Ya, seperti yang saya bilang tadi, the first one, it is as a medium to communicate thoughts and feel to others. Jadi how do you express your thought without language? I think it's very hard ya. Mungkin memang ada beberapa bahasa yang you don't need to use, you don't need to speak, but yeah, it would be very hard. And then it also as a medium to communicate your feelings to others. And then the second one, it is as a tool to conduct business of millions of people. Jadi yeah, I think you know what it means, yeah. And the third one is a vehicle, yeah, to transmit science, philosophy, and poetry of culture. Kemudian sebagai alat transmisi dari ilmu pengetahuan, filosofi, dan ilmu-ilmu kebudayaan. And then languages, the study of languages is also called as sociology of language, yeah. Because if you take a look at the numbers of the speakers and how those languages spread, yeah, that is why it is called sociology of languages. Jadi nanti kalian akan melihat siapa saja penuturnya dan bagaimana bahasa tersebut bisa menyebar. And then the second one, the diversity of cultures reflects that the history of the English language history cultures contact during the past 1,500 years ago. Ya, sepertinya I have studied this before, ya. And then it is the matter of political, economic, and social forces influence of the languages. Jadi pengaruh yang paling besar kenapa kita sangat membutuhkan bahasa itu adalah karena dorongan politik, ekonomi, dan sosial. So these forces shape the languages in every aspect. Most obviously is the number and the spread of its speaker, which is called the sociology of languages. And then it is bound up with the history of the people who speak it. Jadi kenapa di sini disebut sebagai political matters? Because long time ago the languages spread through the political matters, ya. Jadi bahasa itu menyebar karena hal-hal politis dan hal-hal bisnis sepertinya, seperti perdagangan, and then kalau ekonomik itu through perdagangan, one of it, yeah. And then through political, it is when the language is spread through civilization or war, ya. Jadi nanti kalian juga akan belajar bahwa bahasa itu salah satu penyebarannya adalah melalui peperangan. And then influences at work of the languages. The first one is that the Roman Christianizing of Britain in 597 brought England into contact with Latin civilization and made significant addition to vocabulary. So, jadi yang paling pertama cara masuknya bahasa Inggris to Britain yaitu melalui proses melalui yang namanya Kristianisasi di zaman Roman, ya. So Roman Christianizing, ya. Jadi they spread these Latin languages in church. Mereka menyebarkan bahasa Latin ini melalui gereja-gereja. And then they taught this religion at the church by using Latin language. And then the next one that comes is the Scandinavian invasion. Kemudian invasi bangsa-bangsa Skandinavian. Kemudian, and then because of this, there is a mixture of the two people with their languages. And then the next one is Norman conquest. Norman conquest made English for 2 centuries, that the mainly for the lower class, while the nobles and those associated with them use French and almost with all occasion. Jadi kalau Norman conquest itu mungkin kalian bisa melihat kalau Norman itu adalah salah satu pengaruh dari bangsa Prancis, ya. Because Norman we talk about France here. And then for 2 centuries, selama 2 century memang kita not we, but I mean people at Britain at that time, they are using French, as their language for noble people, and then they are using English for middle class people. And then in this one, when English gained its supremacy, the languages of all elements population, it was in English greatly changed both forms and vocabulary what it had been in 2066. Jadi nanti bahasa Inggris itu kalian akan lihat perubahannya dalam hal the form of the word, I mean the changing of the word. Jadi nanti ada perubahan bahasa ya. Kalian akan melihat kata tersebut berubah. And then it is nanti kalian akan lihat the 100 Years War, and then importance of middle class, the Renaissance, and then the development of English as maritime power, and then the expansion of British Empire, and then the growth of the industry, and the science and literature, which has contribution to the development of the languages. Jadi ini nanti adalah kesemua hal yang akan mempengaruhi perkembangan dari bahasa Inggris itu sendiri. Yang pertama adalah middle class, Renaissance, kemudian expansion of British Empire, penyebaran atau persebaran dari kerajaan-kerajaan Inggris, kemudian perkembangan industri. And then the next one is growth and decay. So English, like other languages, it is a subject that is constantly growing. Yeah. And then it is about a language living and dead. So when a language is forced to grow, that languages would be dead. Ya, jadi nanti akan ada beberapa bahasa yang mati. Kenapa bahasa tersebut disebut mati? Karena bahasa tersebut tidak mengalami perubahan. Ya, that is one of the factor why those languages died. And then another factors is that because the speakers itself are extinct. Jadi karena penuturnya sendiri sudah tidak ada. And when a language ceases to change, it is a dead language. Ya, seperti saya bilang tadi, ketika bahasa tersebut menolak atau tidak mengalami perubahan, maka bahasa tersebut akan mati. One of the example here is that classical Latin is a dead language because it has not changed for nearly 2,000 years. Mengapa bahasa Latin tersebut sendiri mati? Karena ya selama 2000 tahun bahasa Latin tidak berubah. So, yeah, this is one of the quotation. Old words die out, new words are added, and existing words are changed their meaning. Yeah, this is one of the process of forming a vocabulary. Salah satu proses pembentukan vocabulary. Okay. Nah, this is some of the example. Changes in vowel sound. For example, stone has become stone. So, in Old English, jadi kata batu itu yang seperti kita kenal sekarang, dulunya, the way they pronounce the word is stone. And then there's also changes in grammatical form of the languages. For example, in the past time, people only say I know and I knowed by adding ed after know. It is to show that word is used for the past form. But today we don't use I knowed, but instead we use I knew, right? So the form of the vocabulary, the form of the verb changes. That is why that word did not die. I will move to my next PowerPoint. Yeah. So maybe on the next meeting, you are going to learn about Indo-European languages. That is the root of our language. Jadi itu salah satu root dari bahasa kita. On the past time, we know that in Roman, I think in Latin languages or German languages, there is a gender of noun, or maybe in on their grammatical structures. Jadi mereka punya gender untuk beberapa kata benda. So there is masculine, feminine, and natural. Or in the past time, they made it into animate or inanimate noun. Kalau animate noun itu adalah kata benda yang hidup, and then inanimate It means that kata benda yang tidak hidup. For example, maybe like table or chairs, something like that. Dan animate, for example, like animals, because they are a living creatures, ya. Tetapi, nah kemudian berubah lagi kategorinya menjadi masculine, feminine, and then gender neutral. Ya, for example, like this one, man, woman. Kalau mau dinetralkan, it becomes mother, father, mother, or parents, boy, girl, and you could say child. Yeah, instead of saying husband and wife, for the natural gender, you can say spouse. And then the importance of English languages. So English is spoken by more than 380 million people in the UK and the US, and then the former of British Empire. However, it is not the most widely used native language in the world because, if we take a look at the users itself, kalau dilihat dari usersnya yang seharusnya menjadi bahasa global adalah bahasa Mandarin, karena untuk populasi sendiri China, the people who spoke Chinese is 1.3 billion people. Itu kalau kita lihat dari jumlah speakersnya. But why they don't make Mandarin as global languages? We will talk about it later, ya. Jadi nanti akan saya bagi kalian ke beberapa kelompok and you have to figure this out. And then, okay, this one. French and English are both languages of wider communication, and yet the changing position of the two languages is international affairs during the past centuries. Illustrate the extent to which a language depend on extra linguistic factors. Jadi yang sangat wide dulu digunakan, yang sangat terkenal bahasa di international adalah dua bahasa, yaitu bahasa Prancis dan bahasa Inggris. Tetapi ada extra linguistic factor yang mempengaruhi, makanya kedua bahasa ini persaingannya untuk menjadi global languages dipertimbangkan. Yang pertama, bahasa Prancis itu sendiri, karena bahasa Prancis people used to thought that French languages is just suitable for opera, like something like something that people see on the stage untuk hal-hal yang bernilai estetis, makanya mereka menggunakan bahasa Prancis. Nah, untuk kategori the effectiveness of the languages, people prefer to use English language. Nah, itulah yang disebut extra linguistic factor, faktor-faktor di luar struktur-struktur linguistik tersebut, faktor-faktor linguistik. And then we move to the next, English as a word of languages. Nah, a language growth is primarily the matter of population. Jadi perkembangan bahasa itu sendiri dipengaruhi oleh populasi dan bagaimana populasi tersebut pindah dari suatu tempat ke tempat yang lain and spread their languages. And then we have some official languages of UN, which is English, French, Russian, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic. So 2 centuries ago, French would have been appeared to claim such as ascendancy, and then karena extra linguistic factor tadi, karena mungkin bahasa Prancis, karena bahasa Prancis dinilai lebih cocok untuk mempertontonkan hal-hal seperti opera, and then memiliki nilai-nilai estetis. Tetapi untuk hal effectiveness, people prefer to use English. And then during the 19th century, its prestige was still great it gradually decline. Nah, makanya walaupun bahasa Prancis itu memiliki prestis tersendiri, walaupun dengan kehebatannya tersendiri, perlahan-lahan orang-orang lebih memilih bahasa Inggris dan menolak bahasa Prancis itu sendiri. Well, since World War II, the importance and the speaker of English have increased rapidly. Ya, ditambah lagi dengan Perang Dunia Kedua yang mengharuskan mereka memiliki suatu bahasa di mana mereka bisa berkomunikasi within nations, ya, dengan beberapa bangsa. They need a language to unite them. And then, at 1935, English was the official language of 1/4 of the Earth's surface. Kemudian bagaimana di tahun 1935 bahasa Inggris itu sendiri menjadi bahasa global yang disepakati oleh semua, yang disepakati on the worldwide. Well, yes, there are 650 artificial languages have failed and English has succeeded. Jadi memang ada ratusan bahasa yang dipropose to become our global languages, where many other natural languages with political and economic power back them up but fail. But English has succeeded. One of the reasons of this dominance, it is because of assimilation and adaptation. Jadi we have seen that the growth of the British industry and then American industry, which is we have seen on television. We are more familiar with the English languages. That is why it is the people agree to use English as the global languages because it is more flexible. Karena tingkat efektabilitas dari bahasa itu sendiri. Ditambah lagi dengan perkembangan industri negara-negara barat, makanya we are forced to follow their language. Secara tidak sadar, ya. Okay, I think that is the explanation, of today's material. I will share this PowerPoint later. If you have any questions, you can ask me here. Ya, saya agak kewalahan ya karena kelasnya dari jam 7:30 and I have to talk. Mungkin nanti kalau bisa dipindahkan jadwalnya kalau memungkinkan, but kalau tidak memungkinkan, it's okay too. Nggak apa-apa juga jadwalnya seperti ini. But do you have any question related to my explanation?
Miss, untuk jadwalnya mungkin bisa di hari Selasa kalau Miss mau.
Selasa jam berapa?
Jam berapa ya? Kita kosong, Miss. Kita sampai jam 10:50, Miss. Habis itu udah nggak ada kelas.
Jar, aku penuh, Jar. Kelas B.
Ya, that's okay. Ya, nggak apa-apa, Fajar. Kita nggak usah mindahin kelas, ya. Nggak apa-apa. Kita tetap jam 9 saja. So, do you have any questions? Because ini udah jam berapa sih? Ya, kayak ini 9:30 kita berakhir di jam 10 ya. So, jam berapa nih? 10:10. So, I think I want this course to be kind of a discussion. So not only all of the information is not only from me, but I would like to facilitate you with information that we can discuss. Jadi nanti saya akan bagikan beberapa materi yang bisa kalian baca, and then I would you to ask some questions. Sorry, I want you to deliver the materials too. Jadi nanti akan ada pertanyaan ya, 2 pertanyaan. Yang pertanyaan pertama adalah mengapa bahasa Inggris itu sendiri bisa menjadi global languages? Ya, mungkin ada pengantar dari saya tadi beberapa ya. Kemudian yang kedua adalah kenapa di zaman dahulu itu bahasa itu dibagi berdasarkan gender. Why some nouns has gender? Kenapa beberapa kata benda itu memiliki gender? Saya akan bagikan materinya lewat grup ya. So, if you don't have any question, I would like to end this meeting and move
I have a question.
WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Okay. I think the topic today is related to the process of English, of development of language. And we know that some words are changed, right? But how about the accents? As far as I know, there are two accents that really famous in this word. There are British accent and also American accent. I'm sorry, British accent and also American accent, right? So my question is, why American and English don't have the same accent? Because they have the same word. What is the oldest accent? The original accent. That's it.
Okay.
Can I answer this, Miss?
Yeah, you can answer it, of course.
Okay. This is coming from me. Maybe the Miss will bisa memperbaiki, tapi perbedaan aksen Inggris dengan Amerika itu lebih tua yang Inggris, yang Amerika itu misah itu dari perang kemerdekaan mereka. Terus nggak cuma itu, Amerika itu kan koloni, jadi nggak cuma yang pure British, ada yang integrasi dari Irlandia, dari French Florida, Spanish Florida. Jadi aksen Amerika itu lebih kayak mix back dari aksen cara berbicara orang non English yang bisa English akhirnya. Sedangkan yang pure English itu mereka dari kembangannya dari Norman Anglo-Saxon. Cuma as over time, kayak yang tadi Miss bilang, ada yang mati, ada yang live on. Some word aksennya kurang lebih kayak gitu juga. Makanya English itu lebih tua. Dan gimana ya? Bandingkan dengan yang Amerika, lebih tang kita lebih pas ke Amerika. Karena English itu agak posh. Mereka ada kayak yang bikin beda gitu. Itu sih, Miss.
Yeah. Yes, that is right ya. Jadi yang dikatakan Ramadhani itu benar ya. So that is correct because kalau British accent itu sebenarnya when we talking about accent itself has many kind of form ya. Many kind of form ya. Karena saking banyaknya aksen dari bahasa Inggris itu sendiri, makanya people have to American and then the third one is Australian. Tetapi dalam British sendiri terbagi lagi aksennya ke beberapa wilayah. For example, have you ever watched Game of Thrones? Nah, di Game of Thrones itu sendiri, aksen dari Jon Snow sendiri itu berbeda ketika kalian nonton Sherlock Holmes. Nah, kalau Sherlock Holmes itu aksennya lebih mirip ke standard British accent yang biasa kalian lihat di BBC. And when I track it down, it is the British accent is actually influenced by Norman invasion, or you could say French. Ya, jadi kebanyakan dari bahasa British itu sendiri dipengaruhi oleh French, seperti yang dibilang Ramadhani juga tadi. Nah, kenapa dari Amerika itu sendiri berbeda? Kalau kita lihat dari sejarahnya, negara Amerika itu sendiri dibangun oleh para imigran, ya. So there are so many immigrants in America. So there are Indian in there, Chinese, Africans. Yang paling pertama ya African slavery yang paling pertama. Nah, di situ sendiri the production of the words. Jadi artikulasi tiap orang itu berbeda. Nah, dengan banyaknya tipe dari imigran Amerika itu sendiri, of course, the production of the word would be different, seperti itu. Jadi kalau memang aksen British sangat dipengaruhi oleh French, sedangkan aksen dari para Amerikan ini dipengaruhi oleh colonization and then the immigrant factors, for example, like that. Ya, seperti itu, Fajar. Jadi ya, mungkin saya hanya mau menambahkan beberapa dari Ramadhani, tapi poin yang dikatakan oleh temannya sudah benar. That's correct.
Okay, thank you, Miss. That's clear.
Yeah, that's clear. Any other questions? Thank you ya, Fajar and Ramadhani, for your questions and answers. Okay. Well, yes, I think it's better if I move to WhatsApp group to avoid a long use of this Zoom meeting ya. Nah, kita ingin meminimalisir penggunaan Zoom ya. Mungkin dalam sehari kalian menggunakan Zoom sampai beberapa kali dalam seminggu. So I think it's better to use half of Zoom and then the other half we are using WhatsApp group. So if there's no more questions, I'd like to end this meeting. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.